Hi folks, welcome back to Delboy's Garage. Tonight, Tow Hitch, and I said in the last video what I want to do is finish with these and now make them into a fixed one-piece frame, but had a little think about it over the last sort of 48 hours, and I think it's better if these elbows that I bent, these kind of elbows here, if you remember we bent that, deliberately folded the tube in, then filled it with weld. Been heated, been cooled, could be brittle. So what I was thinking, just now these are all strong, what I was thinking was just to web that slightly, just to give it strength, just to spread that strength. And it's not difficult to do. So I'm going to stick around, I'm going to do a little bit of webbage and see if I can make them just that bit stronger so that when they're pulling in that direction they're not liable to pull open. It just gives a little bit more overall tensile strength. Okay, stick around, stay tuned, see what happens. Okay, so this is the webbing in question. What I'm going to do, these four elbows, I just want to put, I've got this strength here sorted now, and they are sort of from there to there, strong as you need to be. The next area is going to be weakness, is this. It is an area of weakness because it's been heated and cooled, so I think what I'm going to do is just web them, like I said, just a little web in there just to give them that bit of extra strength so they won't go anywhere. You never know, it might work. I'd rather web them now and not have a problem than have one of them crack in the middle and then have to weld it and sort it all out afterwards, or potentially lose a trailer. So whatever way, it's the standard old cardboard template ploy. So I'm going to make a little template, and then using this is a bracket, bit of quarter plate steel that I used to make these, so it's kind of more of the same, and I know that it welds A to B because it did there. So these straight bits I'm just going to cut out on this bit of strap. It's kind of sort of, what is that, 4-5mm thick, welded into this, and there's lots of weld in there, so we should be able to get a good bit of penetration in there. So cardboard template first, and then in the old vise I've got loads of this stuff, and then we're going to get the old hacksaw, make up some brackets, ready for welding. Stick around. Right, in true take heart fashion, it's just a case of making a template, which is a lot easier by just cutting bits of cardboard than it is cutting and recutting brackets. So once this is ready, you can just draw around it. There we go. Draw around it on the steel, and then it's ready. Each one will come out the same, and they'll be reasonably accurate, hopefully. Get some scissors that are a bit sharper. Alright, so that's reasonably there. And alright, so that gives it. Now I can grind these on the grinder and get them exact, but that gives me roughly what to cut before we go any further. So that just gets transferred to the steel. So I'll cut that out. Get one out of that as well. Use what you have. Look at that. Using up the scrap. There's two already. There we go. There we go. Okay, so that's that all cut. Okay, now I've got to grind each one of these kind of so they fit on a bespoke basis, and then one goes to each one. So it's just a bit of noisy grindage now. Crack along. slowly. Okay, there we go. That's about as close as you'll get, because obviously it moves around. So that will form a really nice little quarter plate web in the centre. Now just got to make 3 more. Let's get stuck in. Number 2. First thing as well, most important, that one and that go together. So that's going to get stacked in that order. So we get lost, right? Number 2. So that's just about it. Right. Okay. As you can see, this is just a case of dressing these bits of steel so that they are as close to the exact profile as possible. And then when the time comes to weld them in, you'll get a good fit. So there we are. There's all 4. 1 for each one. Now I've got to set them up. I'm going to tack them on. Just going to tack them on to start with and see what they look like. Let's get the welder set up. Time for action. Lovely. Okay. Right, now this is sheet metal again, or tube, thin 1mm tube, so I'm going to tack it from the thick metal and just strike onto the tube and see if it doesn't blow. Wish me luck. Bit of clag. Right, just a little bit of care with the taco. Here we go. Just tack it first. Okay, things out of the way. Excellent. Still in line. Right. Buzz it on.
there we go. Right. Job and finishing. There we go. Pretty ugly really, but really penetrated. Almost to the point where I've gone through every single one at least once, just a little dab, which you just tack back up again. So there we go. That are all four. All welded in. Nice and webbed. Let's grab a cold one. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's grab a cold one. So that probably there is about the standard. If that was thicker metal I could get a really nice little puddle weld on that, but it's just not. It's so thin it's just blowing through, which again stands up as to why I'm putting these webs in. So there we go, just a little bit further folks. There it is. 4 spars, now braced. There we go, there we go, all done. Not pretty, but then really penetrated. That one actually started to get somewhere. So I said earlier, or in the last episode, I'm on an upward path of improvement on welding, and that is a perfect example of it. That's a pretty 7 out of 10 weld. The rest, they're in there and they're strong, and I really don't care what it looks like, but these webs are now made out of quartz steel. That's now going to make a great deal more strength. So now really and truly, much as I've said it in the last episode, this is now pretty much no excuse but to start making that lot, those 6 parts, into a one-piece frame. I've got to get a tow hitch, ball, and I've got to start doing some measurements and some angles. So there we go. That's it for now. If you have anything you need to say or any comments, I appreciate that. Thanks ever so much for all the subscriptions and all of your support. This is a daft project and not one person has said anything unless it's encouraging, and I really, really appreciate that because it does mean a lot. One person says something discouraging and sarcastic, you think, yeah, actually it's a bit silly. It is silly, but I kind of like it. It's a bit of fun and it's all scrap metal. So there we go. Thanks for tuning in and watching Delboy's Garage. This has been episode 8. Take it easy, ride safe. See you next time.